Chelsea have possession. And as everyone's coming back out, no one really paid attention once again to Caicedo. And he gets the ball, and check this out for a play to get the ball out to Sancho. Nice little trivela pass out wide, and Chelsea are just building up the pressure at this point. Liverpool have gone back to the top of the Premier League table after beating Chelsea 2-1. It was a very interesting tactical affair, but it was also a thrilling game. I mean, it was a fantastic contest. Both these teams served up a lot of entertainment, so let's break down what happened. Welcome to Campfire Football. I'm Sebastian North. What's cool about these teams is that they do similar things when they're on the ball, and they also struggle from similar problems defensively. Both of them want to attack, and so the games are easy on the eye, but they're also really fun to break down tactically. So let's get into it. Anfield is a tough hunting ground for Chelsea, and Enzo Maresca had a good plan to get his team going. Now, what we've seen a lot from Chelsea this season is the inverted fullbacks, as people call it. Basically, Malo Gusto spent the entire game going into midfield, but then also sometimes offer himself out wide as an option. So Liverpool have a front 3/4. Gakpo dropping a little bit to make sure that Palmer is not an easy option to get the ball because he's super dangerous, but he would also be a part of that front line press because he is the left winger. So Liverpool here, what they want to try to do is cut balls into Lavia and Caicedo. And what's interesting is that they're kind of letting these two sit right in between the lines. And it's basically Liverpool's midfield that is going to have to deal with them. But there are also half spaces. And this is what both teams are looking to try and exploit. Now, in this scenario, Tosin gets the ball, and because 6 Liverpool players are up, he decides to do the big switch out to Nani Madueke. Now, when Chelsea get the ball in these situations, they like being isolated 1v1, but also what this opens up is the possibility of a 2v1. The underlapping run here would be from Cole Palmer for the ball down the channel, and that's how Chelsea get in a lot. I thought Romeo Lavia had a pretty good afternoon. He's an exciting player who's finally getting some minutes for Chelsea. What we're going to see here is a couple little transitions as well as the way the two teams are set up. So you can see once again Gakpo dropping in a little bit more as a midfielder, leaving Liverpool in like a 4-3-3 to press. Now, as Tosin gets the ball, Liverpool are just kind of standing off him, waiting for something to happen. He decides to play a ball into Nico Jackson, who has dropped in. Konate follows him. And so the idea for Jackson here is to be able to drop the ball off into a midfielder, in this case, Caicedo. If he's able to do that, Chelsea can get out because now Liverpool have committed 7 players forward, and Chelsea can break the lines and get past them. But in this scenario, they turn it over. And now the big problem for Chelsea is that they have Caicedo and Lavia operating in between the lines of the forward line for Liverpool in the midfield, which also means that they can't screen the back line. So if they turn it over and Liverpool here through Van Dijk are able to split that pass, now Chelsea are kind of in a difficult situation. A lot of the times it'll be a 3-on-3 or a 4-on-3. In this scenario, Jota gets through, Reece James does well to get back and body him off the ball, and then this is where Lavia did something great. Check out this footwork from him. Couple nice touches and a good pass to get out, and now Malo Gusto is the option to go the other way. Now he doesn't waste much time. He gets the ball out of his feet and plays it out to Sancho so that Sancho can start running, but Gusto keeps his run going and he makes that underlapping run that I just mentioned. The other option for both teams when the other team high presses is just going long, and you can see a lot of the top Premier League teams are not just insisting on build outs to the back where every pass is on the ground. They are more than happy to break the press by going big, and so here you can see once Sanchez gets the ball, he notices Liverpool, they've got a high line and they have 6 players advanced. Let's go ahead and see if we can release the pace of Sancho. It goes in behind, and because of the wind, this ball really dropped nicely, and Chelsea in just one pass are able to go from their 6-yard box essentially all the way into Liverpool's. And one theme in the first half was Alexander-Arnold's defending on Jadon Sancho. It was very good. He gave Sancho absolutely nothing here, forcing him to go back, and then Malo Gusto skying the cross. All right, let's check out a Liverpool build-out. And this is kind of funny, these standoffs that would happen. Here you see Virgil van Dijk get the ball. Cole Palmer gets about 5 yards away from him, and they just kind of stare at each other for a second. It was pretty hilarious. So Van Dijk plays the ball to Kelleher, and he looks up. And if you can see, Chelsea have 5 guys forward. Lavia and Caicedo, the 2 holding midfielders, are really high up. So you can go beyond them. And this is one thing that Liverpool did over the course of the game, especially going to Salah. Now, Curtis Jones had a huge impact on this game, and here's another rotation from Liverpool that kind of shows what they were all about. Now, first off, Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's starting sort of as an advanced right back who's just high up the touchline, but he will change his position as the play goes on. Curtis Jones had a massive impact in this game, floating out to the other side and being able to pick up the ball and making Chelsea kind of sweat. They didn't really know what to do about this. So here you see Curtis Jones getting out wide, receiving, and now Chelsea are sort of piled over onto one side. And you can see Salah in the top of your picture wide wide open. The player inside the circle for Liverpool is Trent, who is now coming into midfield and forcing the Chelsea players on that far side to pay attention to him. Ball goes backwards and across and then out to Salah. Now, after these first 15 minutes, Chelsea started to take more control of the game. And the reason why is that Liverpool were playing a lot of these long balls, but they weren't working. They were turning them over. And so Chelsea were able to establish more stretches of possession. Malo Gusto's influence was starting to grow a lot. Once again, you're actually going to see Lavia do some very nice work here. He gets the ball, takes a look up, and he sees Malo Gusto in the pocket. And you can see one pass is going to beat 6 Liverpool players, essentially, if you count these guys right here. And every time Liverpool let Malo Gusto get off their shoulder, he would find this half space, receive the ball, and cause damage. And no one really wanted to step to him or knew what to do because Sancho's position on the side makes it so you have to respect him and his pace. Now, once again, Trent Alexander-Arnold doing a very good job on Jadon Sancho, forcing him back, and Sancho almost loses the ball here, plays it to Malo Gusto, who gets it back to him. Gusto makes that underlapping run again. This time he's not able to keep it in, and the ball goes out for a goal kick. Now, Malo Gusto's positioning was causing problems for Liverpool, especially Gravenberch, because he didn't really know whether to stay with, say, Moises Caicedo or to go with Gusto. And so when you take one, you might leave the other open, and Caicedo's influence started to grow in the game. And we're going to take a look here at this clip, because over a 2-minute period, Chelsea would essentially take complete control of the game, and this is where they needed to take the lead if they were going to. So the ball goes out to Colwill here, and he is way too easily able to find Jadon Sancho. Salah needs to be able to cut this pass off. So the ball goes to Sancho, and now Malo Gusto, who has advanced into midfield, is now already running beyond the ball, and he's doing that same underlapping run. So Sancho cuts inside, tries to find the run of Nico Jackson, but the ball is cut out by Konate, and Gravenberch there had a chance to get the ball under control, but he completely missed it, and so Chelsea get it back, and the pressure continues to build. Sancho on Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold once again doing a fantastic job not letting him get anywhere, and so Liverpool get the ball, they get it to Szoboszlai, and I'm not sure what he was doing here, but he chips it out, and Chelsea get it right back, and the pressure is able to rebuild. And you can see Madueke here very isolated on Robertson. The ball probably should have gone to him from Reece James, but Reece James, cut out by Gakpo, decides to go backwards. And now as everyone is sort of filtering out towards the ball, once again you see Lavia and Caicedo. They are just drifting right behind that Liverpool front four. Jota sees it and drops in and cuts it off, but it's not over. Chelsea decide to move the ball around again. As Reece James gets it, he's able to find Madueke, and now once again you have that 1v1 isolation. Now no one's able to offer Madueke a pass forward, so he goes back, but as you can see here, Malo Gusto up in that half space. Now Trent Alexander-Arnold has to watch him, and that leaves Sancho wide open on the side. So Chelsea move the ball across again. Salah does a good job of cutting out the ball to Sancho this time. Gravenberch has to mark up on Malo Gusto, and that means that Liverpool are able to cut out the pass, and they're able to win possession back. But Trent makes this volley into midfield, and they just lose it again. Now this is where Caicedo's impact in this play would grow a lot. So he moves over to the ball. Jota once again tasked with cutting him off, but as it shifts across, you're going to see Malo Gusto there checks back in. Gravenberch has to watch him. Ball goes out to Colwill, and now Caicedo is starting to open up. Jota has just lost him for that second. The ball goes into him. He's able to turn. And watch this from Caicedo. I mean, great feat as he gets through 2 Liverpool players, plays the ball out wide, and Sancho is in. Malo Gusto making that underlapping run yet again, and Sancho makes a mess of it. He plays the ball straight in Alexander-Arnold, who gets it and clears it out. Chelsea have possession, and as everyone's coming back out, no one really paid attention once again to Caicedo, and he gets the ball, and check this out for a play to get the ball out to Sancho. Nice little trivela pass out wide, and Chelsea are just building up the pressure at this point. Eventually, they get a cross into the box here from Reece James, and it's headed out for a corner. But that pressure from Chelsea was really building, and it was making the Anfield crowd anxious and quiet. And this moment here is what completely changed the game. Chelsea were once again attacking. This is Madueke getting in, trying to set up Palmer. And actually, this block from Curtis Jones is kind of incredible, because he makes the slide first, and as Palmer's about to hit it, he stretches his leg up and blocks it a second time. So Robertson tries to clear the ball. Caicedo gets it back, crosses it again. Van Dijk tries to clear it. Lavia wins the header. The ball's bouncing around and eventually gets to Robertson, who clears it out but is looking for Salah. And watch this touch from Mo Salah. I mean, that is insanely good. It's so high quality, and it gives the entire team the opportunity to step up properly, because now he's able to just run at Levi Colwill. Takes him all the way down the line, cuts it back, too strong for him. Levi Colwill tries to trip him up and foul him. Salah gets away anyway. gets into the box, and then Colwill challenges, and it was definitely borderline for a foul. Either way, he gets away with it. VAR checked, and they decided, nope, the call in the field stands. But wow, Chelsea really got away with one there, and you can see how pissed Arne Slot was. Look at this, he just tries to kick the ball. Now, that was a moment of warning for Chelsea, because the Anfield crowd just got up after that. The intensity in the ground hit the roof, and just 2 minutes later, Colwill would concede the penalty. So here, Liverpool building out of the back, Chelsea pressing high with 6 players, and I think Palmer is one of the issues here. So you can see Curtis Jones, and no one is picking him up because Chelsea are pressing with both Palmer and Jackson. Konate gets the ball out of his feet to Alexander-Arnold. He drops it back, and look, Chelsea's holding midfielders are Moises Caicedo and Romeo Lavia. That is way too high, and no one's marking Curtis Jones. But right as this ball gets cleared by Konate, you're going to see Tosin actually got close to him because he realized, man, this guy's in the middle of the field wide open. I can't leave him by himself. But now Tosin realizes he has to get back because Jota is one-on-one with Colwill, and if he rolls him here, he's in. So Tosin's running back. Colwill wins the ball, but it goes right to the wide open Curtis Jones. Now, this moment here, you're thinking, Curtis Jones, play that ball, split through to Salah, it's on. But there's another thing that's on. Look at Cody Gakpo. He's going to start jumping in the air because he's like, give me the ball. Either way, it goes out to Salah. He does well to cut back and shoot, and the ball just sort of deflects between Jones and Colwill takes him out. Penalty, and the end result is Salah scores. Okay, I don't need to show that. All right, so at this point, Liverpool had made one substitution. Jota had to come off injured, and Darwin Núñez took his place. Now, Darwin Núñez did work hard defensively, tracked back, got some tackles in, and did pretty well in some intervention moments. But he's also not as good of a presser. He's not as clever as Jota, and you'll see here he just leaves Caicedo wide open. Something Jota was doing a pretty decent job of cutting out while he was on the field. Now, what you can see here is Liverpool are playing a 4-2-4 essentially, but Chelsea have them completely outnumbered in the middle of the park. I mean, it's like a 4v1 on Gravenberch, and Curtis Jones has to follow Palmer. So this is just not good, and it is avoidable if Núñez just moves over just a little bit, makes sure that he's checking his shoulder and not letting Caicedo get the ball. Liverpool are in a good position, but instead the ball goes right into Caicedo, and now it's the moment for Jackson. He likes to drop in a little bit and start running, and it keeps him onside most of the time. Now Caicedo, very good pass around the corner. Jackson gets in and he takes his shot, and it just goes over the bar. But that was the warning sign, and on the other side of halftime, right away, Chelsea would equalize through basically that exact same type of rotation. Now, the ball does go a little wider here. Gusto, once again, standing in the midfield, gets himself involved. Caicedo shifts the ball out to Tosin. Gusto moves out wide and gets it. And the weird thing is, Liverpool actually in this scenario, they do seem to have a good plug on everything that Chelsea can do. Except right as Caicedo starts to move forward, nobody follows him. You've got Gakpo, Szoboszlai, and Jones all sort of in that area, but no one sees Caicedo and no one picks him up. So when he receives the ball, there's a little bit of a panic. Gakpo and Szoboszlai try to run back, but they're too late. The pass from Caicedo is exquisite, and you can see Nico Jackson onside. As the ball gets through, he goes in, and I was surprised. I didn't think this went in at first. I thought it went on the side of the goal because the net didn't really ripple, but it goes in, and Chelsea equalize. Problem for Chelsea is they lost their lead within just a few minutes, and it's Curtis Jones ghosting in at the back of the play, making the big difference here. There's not a whole lot to unpack about this goal, but as you can see, Van Dijk gets the ball, and he sees this split pass in here to Szoboszlai, and you can see Curtis Jones, he's the one that's going to finish this play, so it's worth taking a look at him. And as the ball goes to Szoboszlai, no one pays attention to Jones, and he is able to just drift free. The ball goes out to Salah, he cuts back, and he's about to cross it. Now, Darwin Núñez is very offside, but you'd think this has to be a decoy, that he absolutely knows it. And you can see actually Reece James taking a step back and putting his arm up in the air. What he's trying to do is get Darwin Núñez offside, but he's letting Curtis Jones run right in between the defense. Curtis Jones takes a touch and is able to get it by the goalkeeper. He scores and is probably man of the match in the end, honestly. But there were some standout players in this game. Malo Gusto and Moises Caicedo I thought were very, very good for Chelsea. I think Colwill had his moments, but he also struggled a lot against the imperious Mohamed Salah. Now, he scored on a penalty. He also got the assist laid on. Salah was immense. He and Curtis Jones, I would say men of the match because they were on the winning side, and they obviously had the heaviest hand to play, basically setting up and scoring both goals. Now, as for Chelsea, it's disappointing to lose this match, but if you think back to last season when they got absolutely hammered at Anfield, this was a much, much better performance, and I think all Chelsea fans can see things are definitely going somewhere. But that's it. Liverpool beat Chelsea 2-1. Very interesting tactical match, but also exciting. And yeah, Liverpool, top of the table after 8 weeks. I don't think very many people assumed that would be the case. And the way Man City and Arsenal are both stuttering along, there's a real opportunity here for Liverpool. We'll see. This has been a great Premier League season so far. A lot more surprises to come. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Sebastian North. This is Campfire Football. Take it easy.